Welcome back, Hotel 112. This video will be reviewing the assignment schedule. So what I really encourage you to do is print this off. And for those of you who have not taken an online class or feel like you tend to be a little unorganized, I would really encourage you to actually print this off, and then once you submit it, just check it off, check the homework off. So let's begin. So again, as a reminder, I know we talked about this in the syllabus video, but the start date was yesterday, and then it goes until May 20th as our last day of class. And then we meet on Mondays from 8 a.m. to 10:25 in M386. And again, on here you'll see due dates, and those that have the asterisks are the days that we'll actually be meeting in class. So our first day was obviously supposed to be yesterday, and then the next day we meet will be February 20th. So with the assignment schedule, so here you see the weeks. So we're in the first week, and then obviously next week is second week. These are the due dates. So in the second week on February 4th, so pretty much everything is due on Monday. And then you actually have until 11 p.m. to submit all your homework. And I did that just because this is half meeting face-to-face and then half online. So it's just much easier, I think, for students to remember, okay, yeah, I have to get that in by the end of the day. So February 4th, you do have a couple items due. So by next Monday, you've got your review questions. So make sure you are reading through here, because as you can see, not all the review questions are due. And then there's specific ones that are due. So you have review questions. On page 11, you'll have a technology trends paper. Basically, what I want you to do is do some research online and find out what are the hospitality trends that are out there right now. And then the syllabus will be due. So you can either post it here, or you can also bring it into class on February 11th. Either or, that's fine. Again, you'll get 5 points for posting that. In order to continue in the class, you do need to turn in that last page. Let's talk about February 11th date. So on the days that we meet, you will see over here, so lab work, front desk certification, all done in class. So En-ROAD is the mock reservation that you'll be making those reservations in. So I'm going to do a couple different things. So it always depends on the experience that students have. So if I have a lot of students who actually already work in hotels, they tend to work on their own for the En-ROAD, because I feel, and I've heard from many of the students, the reservation system is fairly easy to navigate. If you've ever done any data entry, for example, En-ROAD is pretty easy to navigate. I do try to, in that first class, go over with you step by step on how to look up availability and how to do that basic reservation. So for all of these reservations that you'll be making, you actually have a step-by-step guide to provide you, and then you actually have an assignment. So go through the step-by-step guide first. What happens a lot of times is students will start getting into the assignments, and then they get stuck, and then they actually are almost to the end, and then they have to completely start over again because they missed a step. That's because they're not going through the step-by-step exercises first. So we'll do that in class. You'll have time in class to do that. If you don't get it finished in class, don't stress, because they are on Blackboard as well. So if you have to go back, like let's say you only get through the step-by-step exercise, you have time and you can take it home where you can actually do the assignment and then still upload it to Blackboard. The tricky part is just sometimes En-ROAD will upload pretty easily and sometimes it doesn't. The best thing is if you can convert it into a PDF file. That's basically the easiest to upload. And we'll talk about that more on that February 11th date. The other items you see here is certification. So that's that workbook that I mentioned when we went through the syllabus. That's the workbook. So each class we meet, we'll be going through that workbook. That's why it's so important for you to be there. So because at the end, you'll take it's actually a certification. So there's a certificate and then there's a certification exam. So there's two different exams. And then so each class will do the En-ROAD lab stuff, and then we'll do the certification. And then obviously you see here the review questions, and then there's a quiz. And again, all the quizzes are due at the end of the day. So they're just due by 11:59 p.m. The same with these items as well. This will be going over in class, so there's nothing to take home, and there actually is no homework for that. just the En-ROAD stuff. So again, the En-ROAD stuff, so if you don't get it done that day, make sure you set aside some time on Monday to finish those items. So here are the chapter readings, the lab information, and again, you'll see that in coordinating with the dates that have the asterisks, what is due for review questions and other homework, and then the quizzes. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit more here. So here's another paper. You're just going to be doing some research again. Here's a worksheet. So once you get into this chapter, you'll see that there's a lot of diagrams, a lot of exhibits in there, and you'll do a worksheet, and basically you'll be referring back to those diagrams and exhibits. And then again, you're seeing the En-ROAD stuff. So you make a basic reservation, you make an intermediate, advanced, and then eventually you'll make a group reservation and then a travel agent reservation. You'll see spring break, obviously no homework due that week, so hopefully you enjoy your spring break. The last items I want to talk about here is the introduction of Cvent. So Cvent is something that meeting planners use as well as hotels. So meeting planners go in and use Cvent to basically prospect hotels that they may have meetings at. And then what they can actually do is, if I have a meeting for 10 people and I'm looking in Milwaukee and I need a hotel that has a restaurant, for example, I can go into Cvent, I can type in all that information, and then I can send it. And then what happens is Cvent actually sends it out to all the hotels. So on the hotel side of things, if I'm a salesperson, I receive that lead from Cvent. I go in and I say, do we have space? Do we not have space? What am I going to charge? What amenities do I have to offer the meeting planner? And then I fill out information and I send it back, and it goes back to the meeting planner. So this class, we're going to do some introduction of Cvent. I'm actually going to have a meeting planner come in and show you the back end of Cvent, so it makes sense. And then we'll also review for the certificate exam. And then that next day, well, and honestly, you can complete it at any point in time, you'll actually have a Cvent certification exam. This looks exceptionally good on your resume, whether you're going into meeting planning or if you're staying on the hotel side. Just the fact that you're exposed to Cvent will pretty much impress a lot of hotels. The certification exam is pretty much more on the front end. Basically, you'll have a click-through on Cvent. It kind of explains what Cvent is, and you'll go through like this PowerPoint presentation, and then at the end, you'll take an exam. I don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say there were 20 questions. You do need to get a 75% or better to pass. If you do not pass the first time, I'm going to emphasize this, go back to the PowerPoint and review that first before taking it again. Cvent only allows students to take it twice. Like, meaning if you don't pass the first time and then you don't pass the second time, you can never take it again. It is worth, I believe I have it worth 20 points. So you do need to make sure that if you don't pass it the first time, go back and review and then take it the second time. All right, on that last class, you have two things. You have the certification exam, which is the extra credit certificate of completion exam, and then the certification exam. Certification exam is only 30 questions. It comes from the workbook. Because it is a certification, it's no open book, no notes, no PowerPoints, nothing can be used on that. It's 30 questions. You do need a 70% or better to pass it. So, and this is one that I don't know the results. So I actually have to send it into the American Hotel Lodging to find out if you pass it or not. It is pretty cool because not only do you get the certificate, but you get a pin that you can wear as well. And for those who are going into a hotel, especially if you're looking to do front desk, this is going to look exceptionally well on your resume. And I would definitely like bold it, put it at top, wherever, because a lot of hotels are going to be impressed that you have that. So, and then the other one is the certificate of completion exam. Again, that one is for extra credit. If you decide to take it, you get 25 extra credit points. That also looks good on a resume. You need a 70% to pass it as well. It's 100 questions. Again, you can't use your book, no open notes, no PowerPoints, all that kind of jazz. So those will be two that you take. If you don't want to take them on both days, we can always schedule for you to come in another day and take one of them, and then you can come take this one, whatever. We can work with that. So it was just, I had to squish everything in here because we're only meeting, I think it's 8 times during the semester. So it was hard to get some of all this in because I also wanted to make sure that we had time for review as well. The rest of this information, just kind of, you'll see this. I think you'll see this in the syllabus as well, but assignments are due on Monday by 11:59. All quizzes have to be taken by then. Email. If you do have problems uploading a piece of homework to Blackboard, don't email me to ask if you can email it to me. Just email it to me. It always cracks me up when a student's like, hey, can I email this to you? Well, yeah, just email it. So if you have any issues, just email it to me. Quizzes are open. Everything is open on Blackboard. So if you do want to work ahead, feel free. The only things you wouldn't be able to work ahead on, obviously, are some of the workbook stuff, CVET stuff, some of those items. But all the quizzes, review questions, all that is open on Blackboard already. So make sure that you take the quizzes on time. If you have some computer issues, let me know, but let me know right away. I can be flexible, but if you're waiting till like 11 o'clock at night when the quiz is due and you have computer issues, that's on you. If you're taking it at noon and have computer issues, it's easy for me to reset it then. But if you wait until the last minute to take it, then I'm not going to reset it. So make sure you're taking those on time. Make sure you're getting homework in on time. Again, homework is accepted up to a week late at half the credit. That is pretty much the assignment schedule. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will hand these out in class on February 11th, so you don't have the excuse to say, oh, I didn't know that was due, because everything's in Blackboard. You'll receive announcements, and you'll receive a copy of this. Excellent. Have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions.